The San Francisco 49ers are facing quite the challenge this week against the Buffalo Bills.
A 5-6 record against a 9-2 team is tough enough as it is.
And unfortunately, the injury report isn't looking good.
It certainly isn't.
Let's start with quarterback Brock Purdy. He missed last week because of his shoulder. Any update on his status for Sunday?
He was limited in practice on Wednesday.
That's encouraging.
It is, but it's still early. We'll have to see how the next couple of practice days go before we know for sure if he'll be able to start.
If Purdy can't go, it'll likely be Josh Johnson again. But can Johnson handle a team like the Bills?
Johnson has experience, but he's not Purdy. The offense would probably have to be simplified, maybe focus more on the running game.
And that brings us to the offensive line, which might be a problem even if everyone's healthy. How's Trent Williams doing?
He didn't practice on Wednesday.
Williams is so important to that offensive line. What kind of impact would his absence have on their ability to protect the quarterback and run the ball?
Williams is the anchor. He's dominant as both a run blocker and in pass protection. If he's out, the 49ers are going to need their backups to really step up, especially against a pass rush like Buffalo's.
And then on defense, what's the latest on Nick Bosa, and what does that mean for a defense that's been struggling already?
Bosa also missed practice on Wednesday.
A healthy Bosa is such a game changer. How might the 49ers adjust their defensive strategy without him?
Without Bosa, they're going to have to find other ways to put pressure on Josh Allen. Maybe more blitzes and stunts, but that could leave them vulnerable in other areas.
It seems like Purdy, Williams, and Bosa are all essential if the 49ers want to have a chance on Sunday.
No doubt. The next few days will tell a lot. If these guys can't go, it could be a long Sunday for the 49ers.
What stands out to you as the biggest factor for the 49ers in this game, given all the injuries?
They need to win the battle at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They have to find a way to protect whoever is at quarterback and contain Josh Allen. If they can do that, they might just have a chance.
It's a lot to ask.
It is. But we've seen the 49ers defy expectations before.
This game is more than just a regular season game. It's a chance for the 49ers to show they can overcome adversity.
They have a tough road ahead. We'll see if they're up to the challenge.
Sunday's game is a pivotal moment in the 49ers season.
It'll be interesting to see how they adapt. Their approach to this game could tell us a lot about their character and potential for the rest of the season.
Let's focus on the impact of each player, starting with Brock Purdy. What specific challenges do the 49ers face if he's not able to play?
If Purdy's out, the offensive game plan will probably have to change a lot. Purdy's ability to extend plays is a big part of their offense. Without that, they'll probably have to rely more on the quick passing game and the running game.
How might the play calling change with Josh Johnson under center?
They might focus on shorter passes, higher percentage throws that minimize the risk of turnovers. Maybe design some runs for Johnson since he's a decent athlete.
Even if Purdy is healthy, how concerned are you about the running game if Trent Williams is out?
Not having Williams on that left side is a big problem. They would need his backup to play really well, both to protect the quarterback and to open holes for the running backs. That's a big ask against Buffalo's defensive front.
How could they compensate for a missing Williams?
Maybe use the tight ends and running backs to help with blocking. Or design runs that go to the right side or up the middle, where they have stronger blockers.
What about Nick Bosa on the defensive side? How much would the 49ers miss him, especially against a quarterback like Josh Allen?
Bosa is a one-man wrecking crew when it comes to generating pressure. Without him, it'll be much harder to disrupt the Bills' passing attack. Allen's mobile, he can extend plays and make throws on the run. Containing him would be a lot harder without Bosa.
If Bosa can't go, how might the 49ers adjust their defense?
They might blitz more, send extra guys after Allen to try and overwhelm the offensive line. But that's risky. If the blitz doesn't work, it leaves you vulnerable to big plays.
Are there any other adjustments they could make?
They could play more zone coverage, dropping more defenders into coverage. That would limit Allen's options. They could also disguise their coverage, make it tougher for Allen to read the defense.
So the 49ers have a lot of challenges going into this game.
It's not an ideal situation, but they do have a talented roster, and their coaching staff is known for making adjustments.
The 49ers have been resilient in the past.
This game will be a real test of that.
The outcome could really affect their playoff hopes.
It's a crucial game for sure.
The next few days will be important. We'll have a better idea of what the 49ers are dealing with once we see the final injury reports.
Until then, we just have to wait and see. It's a tough matchup no matter what.
Even with a fully healthy roster, the 49ers would be facing a tough opponent in the Bills. What are some of Buffalo's strengths? How will the 49ers need to approach this game strategically?
Well, the Bills' offense is a real problem. Josh Allen can make any defense look bad.
What makes Allen so difficult to defend?
He can extend plays, he's got a cannon for an arm.
So how do you contain a quarterback like that?
The 49ers will have to be very disciplined with their pass rush. Can't let Allen escape the pocket. They'll also need to keep him guessing with their coverage schemes.
And we can't forget about their running game. What do the 49ers need to do to stop the run?
The defensive line and linebackers have to be really strong at the point of attack. Control the gaps. Don't let the Bills' running backs get any momentum going. The linebackers need to be quick to react and limit yards after contact.
Switching gears to the 49ers offense, are there any weaknesses in the Bills' defense that the 49ers could exploit?
The Bills have a good defense overall, but they've had some trouble covering tight ends.
So with a player like George Kittle, could that be a key for the 49ers?
Definitely. They could try to create mismatches for Kittle, get him isolated against a linebacker or safety. If Purdy's playing, he's really good at finding Kittle in open space.
So even without injuries, this would be a challenging game for the 49ers. But with the injuries, things get even more complicated. How do you think these injuries might affect the 49ers' overall game plan?
They might have to play a more conservative style on offense. Lean heavily on the run game to try to control the clock and keep the Bills' offense off the field.
So that would put a lot of pressure on Christian McCaffrey.
Absolutely. He would be even more crucial in this scenario. He can run between the tackles, catch passes out of the backfield, and he can handle a lot of touches.
On the defensive side, how do you think the potential absence of Bosa and Williams will affect things?
They may have to blitz more, try to disrupt Allen's rhythm, but that's always risky.
So with all these limitations, what are the key factors that will determine if the 49ers can win this game?
Turnovers are huge. Can't give a team like Buffalo extra possessions. They also need to win the field position battle. Pin the Bills deep and make them drive the length of the field.
It seems like everything has to go right for them to win this one.
Pretty much. They need to play a near-perfect game.
We'll get a better idea of how things might play out once we see the final injury reports.
It all comes down to who's available on Sunday. They need to come out strong.
The pressure is definitely on, especially for the guys who are filling in for injured starters. What can the coaches do to help these players handle the pressure?
I think keeping things simple is key. Clear communication, simplified game plans. Just build their confidence, focus on their strengths, minimize the chance for mental errors.
We can't forget about the fans. The 49ers have a passionate fan base. How much of a factor will the home crowd be?
That energy at Levi's Stadium could be a real boost for the 49ers, especially in a close game. The players definitely feed off that energy. It can give them a real psychological edge.
When you look at this matchup, what areas of the game are most important for the 49ers?
Third down conversions are going to be huge on both sides of the ball. The offense needs to sustain drives and keep the Bills' offense off the field, and the defense has to get off the field on third down to stop the Bills from getting into a rhythm.
What about special teams?
Special teams could be a difference maker, especially in a close game. The 49ers need to avoid any big mistakes on special teams, and they need to look for opportunities to make a big play in the return game.
This game could be a real turning point for the 49ers.
A win would give them a huge boost. The momentum swing would be huge.
But a loss could be devastating.
It would make the rest of the season a lot tougher.
So the 49ers are at a crossroads. How they perform on Sunday will say a lot about who they are as a team.
This game could define their season.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.